Okay, so as you guys know, WEAU did a story on us this week. Did you all see it? Well, you're going to see it now. Play.
The first ever HomeTown Heroes celebration.
Oh, pause. We're having a technical thing. Hold on, we're almost there. Anyway, the reason is I want you guys to hear how I talked about the event. So you know the messaging that I put out, and then so that we can do it. Because the messaging, we're always concerned about the messaging. And I was really surprised. Don't start until I say. I was really surprised because now I've started something. I'm familiar with it. I know. This is Alec, my kid. So like he said, I'm familiar. I'm familiar. He says. Sorry. I know. Pity him now. I know. When I was sitting down to interview with Judy, I want to tell you two fun things. So the first, she said, a lot of times people come in for the interview and I sit down to ask them a question and I say something and they just launch like it's a presentation. They don't listen to the question and answer me at all. And Judy was in my 4-H club growing up, and so I know her really well. Yes, we were Trout Creek 4-H, and I know she graduated from school. My brother and sister, so Judy and I go back a long way. So it was really nice to be on with her. And so I said to her, I will listen to you and answer your questions. I did. And so she started with, tell me about the group. And I'm like, huh? Because this was not where I thought we were going. I thought we were going to talk about HomeTown Heroes. And oh, wow, what am I going to say about this, So I always surprise myself because I never quite know what's coming out, until it comes out. So this is it. And then I will tell you one other funny story. While we were sitting there, I could bring one person with me, and I brought Alec. And he sat in the room in case I got nervous, and I did get nervous. I did. And she said, oh, are you going to sit down? And he said, no. So they sit him on a chair on the side. So he was sitting over there. He told me, he said, yeah, I was sitting there watching. And he thought, what can I do to make this go viral? I know. I'll tackle her while she's interviewing you. Because then they'll play this across the country. Everybody will come then. So he's sitting in a chair over there on the side thinking, and thank gosh he put that impulse down. But that was his instinct, was like, oh, I'll tackle you so this goes viral. So I know, silly but true. I know, you're so bad. All right, you ready? Yeah. Okay, here we go.
The first ever HomeTown Heroes celebration will be held in Chippewa Falls this weekend. The event is Saturday, August 23rd from 3 to 8:30 p.m. at Riverfront Park downtown. And here now with more is Cindy Greening from Chippewa Valley Indivisible, the group that's putting on the event. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for inviting me.
So give us a little background on Chippewa Valley Indivisible. What is it?
We're a grassroots a nonpartisan group. We formed in Chippewa Falls in the Chippewa Valley just in January of this year, and it's just a bunch of friends and neighbors who get together to do good things and fight things we think are hurting people. So we did the egg giveaway in April. We do Sojourner House fundraising things. So we do that kind of thing, and then we, if there's legislation or something we're concerned about, we do actions on that. But the goal is to always stay positive, protect our people, and just reconnect and rebuild after some of the fractious times we've had.
Sure. And so this event, I guess, what is the goal for that?
The goal was to have us remember that we're friends and neighbors first. Where it started was that we think a lot of people are not, they work hard in the Chippewa Valley. So we have everybody from our healthcare workers who keep us all safe and healthy. We have the people who run toward danger, the firefighters and the police officers, and when there's a crisis. But we also have the folks who volunteer to do hospice work, and educators, and people in the city parks and the city. And there are just a lot of people who work together, and we think we all make a difference, and we sometimes don't see each other. We stopped seeing each other, and we wanted an event to celebrate what we all do.
Sure, and that's where the HomeTown Heroes comes in. Everyday people.
Yeah, and what we did as a group is we went around and we handed out these cards to let people know we recognize them. I went and visited someone in one of the downtown offices yesterday, and it was a person who did a lot of permitting stuff, and I said, I'm just here to thank you for what you do and to tell you I'll be celebrating you on Saturday. And he said, I've been doing this 20 years and no one has ever said thank you.
Wow. And again, a lot of stuff going on here.
Oh, it's going to be a fun day.
A lot of things for kids.
Free,
and events.
lots of free. Yeah, we got kids events from 3 to 6 with lots of prizes, toys, and games. We've got a children's parade at 4 o'clock where they're going to be able to like pull wagons, and we're going to actually have a grand marshal and play music. So the kids, we call them the future heroes of the Chippewa Valley because they're heroes, learning how to be good citizens, and the parents that raise them.
Yeah.
It's like heroes are anybody who's living and working together, make this part of the state a better place, and we wanted to celebrate that. And a lot of people ask us, where's the money coming from? Are you a political group? We're not. Are you a church group? We're not. We're just a bunch of people. We're paying for it. Like
Sure.
we got together and pooled our money, and this is us.
Okay, and there's lots going on. Again, we do have a link on our website if you wanted to check that out. Saturday, August 23rd, 3 to 8:30 p.m. at Riverfront Park, the Hometown Heroes Celebration. Thanks again, Cindy, for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Judy.
And we'll be right back.
I want you all to know I never watch myself on any of these things. I didn't watch the No Kings. I do not watch any of this. So this is the first time I've watched myself do something. With all of you. Yes, it was very special. Okay. So you understand the messaging and what we're talking about, what we're trying to do. We all agree on this. This is what it's all about, right? Okay. Hey. Go to the next slide. I'm going to come back to this later. Okay, so to recap the actions of the past, you know, this is what we always do. We do the recap of what we've done to get here. Talking about what we've done up until now, we did the Van Orden lacrosse action. You guys saw that. We made as much hay out of that as we could, but it was tough. He got away. It was frustrating, but, you know, I think we got some good mileage out of it. The thing that was disappointing to me, what was different down there is we had an inside person who told us what was going on. Here, Van Orden was here in Eau Claire the same night, and we had no idea. Friday night he was here, he was in and out, and we couldn't catch him here because we didn't have anybody on the inside. So we're working to get that fixed up, but we'll just keep working and doing what we can. At the rally yesterday in Eau Claire, there was someone there recording people talking about Van Orden's vote on the bill and doing that. So, you know, we just keep what we can do to make it more difficult for him to get elected and try to get a Democratic candidate in. So there was a Social Security protest on Saturday. I do believe it was canceled, and if it doesn't, the rain sure kept most of us away.
There was about 8 people there.
8?
And Jody Emerson.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and they had a canopy up, but the wind was so strong we had to hold on to it so it wouldn't blow away.
Okay, so it was there. I don't know if you guys remember, there's the one on the 27th next week that Carolyn and the WAIRA folks are doing. So that's from noon to 1. And so for those of you that are committed to Social Security action, we can still do that, you know. So we missed the one on the 16th. We're doing the weekly visibility rallies in Eau Claire, and I wanted to share with you what Alex's observation was of the Eau Claire rally, because I took him yesterday, and I told him I was going to call on me. He said no. So I'm going to tell you. I said, well, what do you think? He said, well, honestly, I expected to see 4 old women on a corner. And I'm like, what? He said, honest, that's what I thought I was going to see. And he said it was huge. He said, I was so impressed. It was so big. There were so many people. He said, it's really neat to see the sense of community, how you guys all lean into each other. What else did you say? I'm thinking, I told him you got to cue me if I forget. He said he loved watching how the people honked and waved, that there was a lot of interaction. And he said one of the things that he really loved is that we had so many different signs. And I said, really? People complain about that sometimes and say our messaging is off. He goes, no, because he said I could see things I could relate to and it felt accessible and like I could step in with you and fight for the things I believed in, where if you all had the same message and it was like not my message, I would feel like I couldn't be there. He said, so I felt like I could step in. He said, I can see why you do that every week, which was cool. So I just want you to know, he's from LA, and he said he saw they have rallies there, and he said they mostly all just petered out and there's nothing going on. A lot of them are just dead in his neck of the woods. I know in your Pasadena might be different, or where yours are.
August is shut down.
Huh?
It has shut down for August.
Yeah. Yeah, he said the same thing. He said, there's hardly anybody out anymore. He goes, I got to tell you, it's pretty impressive you guys are out. He said, it's pretty amazing. So that was cool. So I felt real good last night. And then we watched the Brewers lose, which was really disappointing. Did you see that game last night? It was just sad. It was just sad. So then I asked him today what he thought about today here in Chippewa. And we're outside. And he said, well, I had a different feeling. And I said, really? You know, because we're a little smaller here. You know, we're a little smaller. And he said, well, the first thing, I can't believe you guys all go out there when it's so hot. I said, you think I like being out there? This is not a person who likes that. And then he said, Eau Claire is more liberal, isn't it? And I said, yes, Eau Claire always votes blue. And he said, and up here, it's not, is it? And I said, no, we always vote red up here. He said, you can tell. He said, it feels different. And he said, what it feels like to me is those of you that stand out up here have to have a lot of courage to do it. He said, I feel courage here. He said, down there it feels more like, you know, like you're having fun being together. And here he said, it feels a lot more like courage to me. He said, I know. He said, and he said, because, you know, people, they will see and recognize each other. It's not just that they'll see you, but they might see you in town. You're going to bump into them. It's not as big as Eau Claire. So for you guys to do that, he said, I thought it was really cool. He said, you're really courageous up here. But I liked it both. I liked both answers. So,
Good job,
yeah.
guys.
Didn't you? Well, I like hearing the outside observations. Like, you know, like, well, what do you think? The 4 old women on the corner was something. I got it. But I will say, when we got out of the car and started walking up, he's like, is this yours? It's like, yeah. He said, huh? Yeah. We did have 4 old men, didn't we? He said, is this yours? He said, are these yours? I was like, yeah. He said, every week? And I said, yeah. And he said, 24 weeks? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I can't believe that. But anyway, so just so you know, we're doing great work. Now, we're all getting tired. I don't know about y'all. I'm getting a little tired, and it's hard. And what the Orange Monster has been up to the last couple weeks has been hard. It's been hard. As I said down when I was at the rally today, what I said to everyone is, here's my goal. To get through the next 3 weeks, you know, this event and all the other stuff, and then have everybody come back after Labor Day, get their kids in school, get settled into their routines, get teachers, get us all back into our routine, and then sit down and kind of, get together, reassess. Not that we're not meeting till then, we are. But then, like, reassess, like, where do we want to go from here? Focusing less on our small group activities, because we're all making the transition, and focusing on our big group stuff. Is that okay by you guys? Yeah. You agree? Is that all right? Yeah. So the small group, your subgroups, we're letting them kind of go a little lighter as we take care of just like transitioning back into autumn, into our normal schedules, okay? So the next No Kings, they're looking at October. I think it's going to be in October. We're hoping the next event is in October. So we're going to try and get ready for that. That's good because we got things going on, okay? And as soon as they are ready to announce the date, we'll know. Okay? And I'm ready for it. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, the Democratic picnic last night was huge. For those of you that didn't hear, they had, 80 people there? 100 people? Okay, they told me 80, but they had a bunch of people there because Sarah Godlewski yesterday announced she was running. So she was there. They had, of course, Laura Benjamin and Emily Berge were there. Cook did not show up. And there were some other folks. Who else? Jody. There was a bunch of stuff. So it was a bunch of fun time. They're having their picnic in Eau Claire tonight. The reason I'm saying that is because we are nonpartisan. But what it says to me is people are showing up. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hearing, is progressive, people who want change. People are showing up. You're showing up, but they're showing up too. Okay? So we're going to keep going. All righty. Oh, I did that one already. Okay, good. Next one. Okay, continuing, we're going to continue with the weekly visibility rallies. You know, September 10th, we're having the Wizard of Oz themed one in Eau Claire. Do you know that? Yep, and so we're going to wear costumes. The songs have been written. I'm putting the songs and the lyrics up. I got some exciting news. You ready? I got a hold of Indivisible National, and I pitched them the idea. I'm like, what do you guys think of this? And they're going to help us try and find a national person to come in. They thought they could get Jasmine Crockett or Jamie Raskin or someone like that. because it's a cool idea, we're doing it big, and it's not when everybody else is like, it's not like a voting day. So everybody doesn't have to be it's a weird day in the middle of a week, so they think we can probably get someone else, yeah?
Didn't Trump also put something on social media with himself as the
Wizard of Oz, yeah.
the lion?
Oh, as the lion, oh, gee, it's ridiculous.
We're gonna try to find it.
Okay, you find it. We'll do it. But we are already working on costumes. People are signing up. Flying monkeys as ice. It's going to be a great event. We're going to sing songs, turn Lake Street into the Yellow Brick Road. And so, a lot of the folks said, if we're doing it in Eau Claire on the 10th, can we do it in Chippewa on the 11th? Yes, I said, why not? So we're going to bring it up here too, because they might as well see us prance in our clothes up here too, right? It's like if we're going to bother to learn these songs, we'll have the band. It'll all be fun. And we're hoping to get someone in, and I got the best note ever. You guys will love this. I think you guys will appreciate this. Not everyone else on the planet would. But I got, one of the notes I got from Indivisible National was from Hannah. She's just lovely. She said, one of the things with your messaging on the Wizard of Oz thing, remember that for a lot of people, things haven't worked for a long time. This went along with the thing that was like going around on Facebook. She said, remember the Munchkins and all the other people that lived under this tyranny. It's like, yeah, everybody, they were trying to get out, but there are a lot of people living under this, and we need to remember all of us, just not the major four characters. So kind of like the whole billionaire thing and who has the money and who has the power, and let's talk about privilege for a minute, Huh? It's actually Bernie is going to be. We're going to have him sit there with his mittens. We're going to put a wand in one hand. We're going to put a sign in the other, and we're going to put Glenda's crown and hair on him. So we're going to actually use a cutout of Bernie for Glenda, because I don't know if you remember Glenda's message was, you have the power. She said to Dorothy, you have the power. So we're going to do that, and the people that are playing Dorothy are going to carry the we have the power sign, yeah?
I talked about being a munchkin, but
I know.
also bought some lollipops.
Yeah.
To hand out. I'm going to have a bucket that says water for the wicked Trump.
Oh, good.
And
We should create a discussion board where you guys can all just put all of your ideas so we can feed off each other, because it'll be a lot of fun.
and I was we need a sign that says no suckers.
No suckers? Yeah, okay.
I'll bring my yours.
Yeah. You bring Yorkie for Toto, yeah?
This is not what I'm talking about for this, but I think Dorothy should carry a ruby ballot box.
Oh, the ruby ballot box. Absolutely. Yes, we've always had the power with the ruby ballot box. Okay, see, keep thinking. This is going to get huge, yeah.
Oh, I just was going to bring up what you were talking about, it not working for everybody. People my niece's age don't remember a time before Trump.
I know.
Remember politics even working or people even talking to. Wow.
Exactly.
They don't remember that. She's in her early 20s. She just graduated from college.
I think our messaging can be really powerful on this. In the same way that I think our messaging is powerful on Hometown Heroes, as we're handing out the cards, you heard me say that I handed out to the fella. I actually handed out cards at the election, at the vote, the county clerk's office, and I went in and you could just tell they're like, what are you doing in here? Now, hi, I'm Cindy Greening, and I'm here to let you know that I'm celebrating you on Saturday. We're having an event, and I tell them, and I said, and I celebrate you guys because you've been having a really hard time, and it's been a lot of dissension, and I just want you to know that I appreciate the job you're doing. And you could just see them get all, smiley and red in the face. And the fella that I gave it to, who said, and I don't want to say who it was, but he's like, I've been doing this job 20 years. No one's ever thanked me. And I said, well, your job is permitting, and I'm sure they're afraid of you, I'm sure. And I said, I'm sure you've made some people's lives harder, but I also know you're doing it because you're trying to keep us all safe, which made him smile and say thank you. Judy? Stand up. You know it's coming, don't you? Where'd that other microphone? Yep, I want you to talk about, so if anybody else would like to share about what happened with handing out cards, I would just like a few people to talk about, all you have to do is just talk in it. It makes Mike happy, otherwise he gets grumpy.
Okay.
Don't make him be grumpy with me.
Okay, so today I gave out many cards, and I have to tell you, I told Cindy, it was so heartening. People were so touched they were so happy and surprised. And so I went to places like Hope Village. I went to the senior daycare center. I went to a child care center. I went to Whirlybird Cafe run by a mother and daughter who do a lot for the homeless. And I went to a family restaurant and gave it to servers and teachers. And a woman who runs a business who takes care of her elderly parents, which is a lot, and also a lot for her customers. There were just a whole range of people, but the big takeaway for me that really touched my heart was just their reaction. They were like, really? For me? And you could tell, and I told Cindy, they look like they so appreciated that. Probably they don't get a lot of appreciation. And almost like their cup was kind of full. And by doing this, you could just see that transformation on their face. It was really heartening. And I said, this community really needs this event. And more, I mean, I can only see it growing in years.
Well, I'm
and
not going to talk about that
how
part.
wonderful that's going to be.
I'm not talking about that part because it's hard enough as is. You said one of your people cried. I had people get
yes.
tears in their eyes. Tears in their eyes. And every time I do it, every time I go out and do it, I always feel really good afterwards. People just want to be seen and acknowledged. And it's just like, you know, like I'm toiling away in my life here. No one notices how hard I'm working. And a lot of them we know are working with a lot less money now. You know, their budgets are being cut. They're, you know, like the one of the permit fellow I was talking to used to have one job and then they closed an office and he got both of those jobs. So he's doing two jobs for the price of one, you know, and so the goal of this, and for you guys, just so you know, like one of the purposes of the cards, and I brought more so you could take them and go out and give them to people, preferably people you don't know, just people you see in I'm doing tons of people. My goal is people I don't know. So just keep handing them out. But it's also to have you all connect with everybody in the community and have them see you and connect with you. You know, it's for them and for you, you know? Or maybe not, who knows? Okay, anybody else want to share like what happened with them with a card? Anybody else have the courage to do that? I know Brody put out a lot of posters and he had a lot of the same reaction putting out posters where people were surprised and like, what? You're doing what? Okay.
Very well surprised.
Yeah? Oh, yes, Kim. That's Michelle.
I live in Tilden, which is mostly a red community. And most of my neighbors know that I'm the Democrat of the neighborhood. And I wrote on the back of them that good citizens make great neighbors, and vice versa. And I said, so I'm nominating you. And I gave them to my neighbors, and one of my neighbors just looked at me like, wow, me? Ooh, me? And yeah. So it's making those small connections between a Democrat and a Republican, you know, that we're not just here to say no to Republicans, we're here to make community, to bring us together.
And remember our shared values, because we all have the same goal. This is the thing I can always get to with even MAGA Republicans. I can get to here. They want the world to be safe. They want their kids to grow up safe. They want their schools to be safe. That drives them a lot. Okay, I don't agree with how they think some of that should be done, but I can get with that shared value. And the thing is to start to see and understand and have each other see that we're not at cross purposes. Okay, well we are, but you know, we're working on it. And until we see each other again, it's going to be hard to get there. So that's a huge part of what we're doing. So we may have 52 people there. We may have, you know, a lot more. Who knows? We don't know what's going to show up. Okay? I'm trying to think. I'm gonna blast through this, and then I'm gonna do the event. Okay? Is that okay? All right. Blah blah. Skip Duran for right now. Hometown Heroes. I did that. There's the Social Security rally, the one for Carolyn. You know, Carolyn, who's in our group, Kaiser. The WIARA is having it on August 27th. It's like the one we did back on April 15th. It's at the Social Security office. We're going to get in there with our signs. We're going to, stand there and let them know. And, afterwards, I'm taking in treats like we did last time. I'm going to take treats in and thank them and say, we appreciate you. And so that's on the 27th. On Labor Day, September 1st, we're doing the People's March in support of labor. I told you guys about that one. We're going to start from 5 points. Citizen Action Committee is working with us, AFL-CIO, SIEU, whatever the numbers, there's a lot of letters in there. They're all going out to their people as well, Jeremy, so we're picking people to take each one. If we don't have a huge sign up, I will be disappointed and lay on the floor and cry for a while, but if we have good sign up, we'll have 5 points, otherwise we'll come down to 3, and then we'll all converge on Phoenix Park. It's a short walk, just honoring labor. We're not asking you to give up your whole day. We're going to start about 10 o'clock. We'll be done by 11. It's just to honor all the working people here, which is all of us,
It's the morning, it's not a big afternoon round.
Oh, no, it's not. Now, AFL-CIU is having a picnic afterwards, and I understand they don't want to feed 1 million people. So we set ours up to just get done early so we could go take off and do whatever we wanted. So it's just a march.
So where do they start from?
I haven't given the locations yet. I can tell you the 3 for sure. Labor Temple in Eau Claire, yep. In front of the old Uniroyal and over by the Federal Building. So for the folks that have more limited mobility, you'll do the shorter one. So for the people, you young squirts and you like really healthy ones, you know who you are. You guys will be on the Labor Temple because that's the longest walk, that's most vigorous. And then the one that comes down by Uniroyal. So we'll have those 3 for sure. And then if we have enough sign up, we'll pop in 2 more. So the goal is to come in like radiating and have people of the power, people have the power of the people coming together. And then just have the talk and be there. I guess what's her bucket from Stephanie? Thank you, Stephanie Blumenthal. Thank you. Will be there to talk. She's the president of, yeah, there you go. So she's the president, and so she, the state, yeah. So she's a state human, and then I think Jody Emerson has said she'd like to talk. So.
Is there any kind of graphic for that yet? I'd love to start.
It's out there. If you go to Mobilize, it's out there.
We do that. Okay.
Yep. It's not it has Phil Swanhorst on it, and it's just a bunch of people marching. But I also have another piece of it, but yes, it's out there. Mobilize, all of this stuff is on Mobilize. That's where I pop it first. Okay. Yep, so hop on Mobilize, Chippewa Valley Indivisible, you'll see us there. So I'm just letting you know it's there. You can come and march for an hour. Feels good, go home, you have the rest of the weekend, do whatever.
So that starts at 10? Isn't this a big?
It's a nationwide thing, and Indivisible asked us to take this on. They said nationally, we ask you to do something in support of labor. So this is our piece in support of labor, because we all work, right? Okay, awesome. We already talked about the Wizard of Oz, Toto, We're Not in America Anymore rally. The other big one that people are really interested in is the Veterans Rally for Klein Hall. And the biggest piece of information I got is to do it right before the legislative body goes back into session, because then it puts pressure on them. And they told us not to do multiples. They said just do one. If you do one, WEAU and WQOW and the papers will come, they'll cover it. But if you do it every week, they're not going to come. Right? It's the same problem we're having at the Eau Claire rally. Why won't they come? Well, because it looks the same every week, which is why we got to make it look like the Wizard of Oz so they'll come. Or like we did with Tom Tiffany, we got to get in our dang wetsuits and bathing suits and dance around to get them to come. All right? So the Veterans Rally, they said don't do a bunch of them, do it right before, then the legislators will vote and put the money in for Klein Hall. And they said there's a good chance, not a guarantee, there's a good chance we'll be able to get funding and keep it, because it would be really difficult then, it's going to make it hard for him to get reelected. So I don't have the date on that yet, but it's coming. Okay, so you guys got it? It's the biggest thing everybody asks me about. They ask me in Eau Claire, I hear about that everybody, they give me their phone numbers. This is the one everyone cares about a bunch. Got it? Blah, 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 blah. That's how I feel. Don't you feel like that? Sometimes I look at bleh. Anyway, and then there's the 5-state action we're doing against Elon Musk in late September. And that I will give you more information on later. And again, there's a lot of people that are real excited about that. We'll see if it works out. And then, of course, don't forget in September and October to watch the movie House of Dynamite.
Oh my God.
Did I tell you this last week? I did. It was at the bottom of the list. He worked on it. And it's about nuclear weaponry and what we should be doing about that. It's a nuclear weaponry film and bad, naughty. So we'll like that, won't we?
Yes.
Okay.
Where will we find it?
It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be at the
It's gonna be on Netflix.
Netflix. Thank you, honey. It's going to be on Netflix. Yep. First, it's going to go to a film festival in September. Is it going to Toronto? Venice? Venice. It's going to Venice in September. In October, it'll come out wide on Netflix. Yep. So when you watch it, watch for his name in the credits, because my sisters and I go always to the theater and stand up and scream in MyCon. We do. We scream like, don't we? He's home once and he watched it. It's like, because we stand up and just, anyway, because we're having fun. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. I think that's it. I think after that, some other stuff. Okay. I was going to say two things. I did talk to them about, because you remember we did the brainstorming session about how to do local activities? Well, then they did, okay, now back up to messaging now. I know, I get all goofed up. Okay, so one of the things that happened with Indivisible, they did the 1 million rising and they had the 3 things. How many people did it? I know a few of you did. Yeah, okay. So yeah. So they did the 3 sessions, and in the last one, I was really surprised because all the actions they gave were national. So they get the actions that they gave that we're doing now, and we are going to participate. I'm not asking you as a whole group, but I'm going to start to invite people who want to take it on. So solidarity in action for the people that want to take it on is going to be about getting them to put signs in their windows about against ICE and defending immigrants. Okay. Like having safe spaces. Now, I must tell you that the people who are in, who hire, who have folks who might be more at risk, they don't want, they're not as keen on this idea. But perhaps if everyone else in the town is doing it, they'll feel safe. And then they need to, the other thing we're going to have, because it's conversations we have with the store owners, for the folks that don't want to post a public sign, how to create a public area in back where you have to have a judicial warrant. So there's some stuff with that. So we'll do some training about that. So how to do that here in Eau Claire, down in Arcadia, and get that information out. So that's,
Can I piggyback on that for a second?
Absolutely not. You can.
Okay.
Stand up, Amy.
So the Rule of Law Group has been working on a rapid response plan in collaboration with the Chippewa Valley ACLU and Jonah. And part of that is education. So ACLU has been kind of spearheading that particular part of the plan, and they are distributing Know Your Rights cards and Voces de la Frontera one-pager kind of information, and a new yellow card, which is going to include a hotline number for reporting ICE activity, either ICE sightings or ICE detainments. So we've already created like a list of businesses that volunteers are going out to distribute these materials, and I think we could piggyback on that and also distribute these signs as well. Not that we can't do it individually, but
I think that's great.
we'll leverage. Yeah.
And not only that, the phone number now is going to be statewide, so they'll have one regionally and refer things to us, and we can get things going. So the Rule of Law Group, we should get a hand, give them a hand. They've been working super hard. Yep. So we're getting the phone number set up, we're getting the cards out, we're getting the signs out, and we're getting ready for when something occurs. So we're moving into position. I mean, thank God we're in the backwoods, so we had a little time to figure it out. God help us if we were in LA or somebody where they're already getting stomped. At least we have time to figure it out. The areas that are really hard hit right now and where a lot of it's happening is down around Arcadia area. They're having a lot of trouble down there, and
Hudson too.
and Hudson. Those are the two right now. So it's coming to us. It is. So we're going to have to figure it out. Cindy?
That's what I was gonna say, is like southern part of the state.
Yeah.
Not here yet.
Yet.
But I see a lot less brown people, and the brown people that are coming into the store are a lot more afraid.
Yep.
They come in, get their stuff, leave right away. They don't
Yeah.
wanna-
A friend of mine's husband is from Colombia, and they have 2 children. And so we talk a lot about this. They live in Menominee. And it's, there's a lot of fear. I will tell you, just for me, what was a heartbreaking story. I'm trying to figure out what I can say on camera. If I tell you to cut this later, Mike, I might tell you to cut this, okay? Okay, thanks. Huh? Oh, you're so good. See, he got me all flustered now. Oh, I'm trying to tell you a heartbreaking story and he made me smile. Okay. So my friend, her husband helps people, drives them, takes them places if they need to have things going on. And this woman called a friend of theirs with her 2 children and asked him to take her to the Minneapolis airport because she had decided to self-deport. She was just too risky to stay here. And her husband was staying behind because he crossed the border illegally, so whereas she had an expired visa. So she and her 2 children, who have U.S. passports, were self-deporting to Mexico. They got to the airport. He got them there. They crossed through. When they got to the gate, ICE was waiting to take her. I know. And she's like, no, listen, I'm self-deporting. I'm going away. I'm taking my kids. I'm leaving. Let us go. I don't want you to take my kids and put my kids somewhere. Ultimately, they were able to get on the plane and go, which, yes, so it had a happy ending. It had a happy ending. But ICE was waiting at the gate. I know. Because she passed through. When she passed through and she was on her way to the gate, they flagged her, and ICE met her at the gate. Okay, that's here in Minneapolis. That's Menominee to Minneapolis. So it's coming. And a huge part of it is kind of like a big part, and that's where ground develop comes in. So we'll all be, and I'm, I am sensitive to we all have real lives and we're fighting for better lives, and you got to have your life too. So I'm not asking you all to take it on, but those of you for whom this moves you, for those of you that this speaks to you, we're ramping up to try and take this on a bit more. Okay, so we'll probably you'll either end up in rule of law or a subgroup about this. So get ready. Okay, the ground Avelo is the other one. Believe it or not, Avelo Airlines did have a stop in Wisconsin, down in Mosinee. Yeah, they had a stop there. They're closing it. Yep. They're shutting it down as of, I want to say August 31st. Because we were going to go start attacking them. So they have a whole campaign. These are both national campaigns. So this campaign, the ground Avelo, is to try and put enough pressure that they stop. So we're doing the same thing, like what we're doing with the solidarity. It's like, let's just try and get it tamped back down. So the main thing that's frustrating about this, because we don't have any airlines here with Avelo, they have four things we can do, and the only thing we can really do is write to them. So, and we call our senators and representatives so often, so we know how effective that is, right? Feels good to do this. Yes.
We have identified any other airlines that they're working with, though?
It's the only one. They have the contract. All of the illegal deportation flights are Avelo. And they are shutting down. They've had to shut down because people are showing up and not signing up, which is great. It's just we need more. Okay, so when I was talking to them at Indivisible, I said, I think I goofed this up. I thought we were supposed to do local stuff. I pulled 16 of my people together and made them sit in a room with me and try and come up with actions. And we did it. We came up with a bunch of actions. We did. I said, but then in the third thing, they gave national ones. They're like, oh no, you're doing it exactly right. They just gave them these to get them started. Because most people were not going to sit down and do that. So we will, again, pick this up after the 1st. So the actions and stuff that we're working on, and I told you about that, the way we worked with the local actions and like coming up with who we could write to. Because one of the really big things, if you watch the 1 Million Rising, Ashley Woodard Henderson, I love her. Isn't she amazing? Oh my God, I wish she, anyway. So Ashley was talking about how a lot of times non-cooperation starts with one person. Remember the teacher in Idaho they used as an example, who refused to take the poster down, and then someone made a lot and went national? So same thing, a lot of things is some one person here in town talking to someone who doesn't realize or isn't aware. Because I don't know about you guys, I find this a lot. When I start talking to folks, they don't know that things are going to get cut. They don't know it's going to get hurt. They don't know. So the suggestion that the group came up with is that in one of the magazines they were putting on the bottom like where the funding came from for science, for the things they were doing. So imagine if everybody in Chippewa was funded, and in their newsletter they said, and they said it wasn't political. On the bottom they said 32% of our funding comes from blah, 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 and will end on blah, blah, blah. Imagine if everybody in town started doing that. We can do that. That's what we can do. That's a local action that makes people around here start to wake up. Because people don't know. And you don't have to do it politically, you just have to say what's true. We came up in the group. I told them about that, and Indivisible National's like, gosh, that's brilliant. Like, it wasn't mine, but okay. I mean, it was one of my people, you know, like, we have good people. You guys come up with good stuff. So we're gonna pick this up after the 1st, because we got something else to take care of now. What time is it?
6:19.
Ah! Okay. Too late. Okay, the redistricting battle will come up with this. As us in a blue state, the only thing we can do, because we have a Republican legislature, the only thing we can do is ask Tony Evers to say he will make this state available if someone's fleeing from a redistricting thing, like, you know, Pritzker did. That's all we can really do. But so they have some suggestions on this. So these are the things they have. But they also said, do your local stuff, and I think our local stuff can be more effective if we want to change some things here. Because we can't do much with this except write letters, and here we only have ears. This we can do something with. This we can. Okay? And then what was the 4th thing? There was another thing. Okay, it's like not there. There was one other thing that we could do, and it was, it's gone. Doesn't matter. Okay, I'll remember it later. You'll hear a screech later and you'll know. Okay, let's talk about Hometown Heroes. How many people here are doing the event? Awesome. How many people are coming? I know all you guys are, and the other folks? Great. It's so funny, they're like, yeah, I am too. Okay, I will be sending an email tomorrow. If you are doing stuff for Saturday, please make sure we know, okay? So I'm just gonna kind of say a whole bunch of stuff now, and, you know, and then do the rest in the email, just so you kind of know what's going on. We're gonna start setting up at 2 o'clock, okay? At 3 o'clock, we're gonna start handing out tickets and stuff. There will be logistics people who will be protecting people and making sure they cross on the sidewalks. They'll have the vests on, whistles and stuff.
Honoring Heroes, Chippewa Valley Indivisible is getting community members out and about at Riverfront Park, celebrating Hometown Heroes. The idea behind the event is to empower community building. Hundreds of people attending were able to get to know one another in a more social setting. Organizers saying in recent years, a lot of division in society has made people seem to forget we're all just trying to do our best.
What we're doing is trying to celebrate and pay attention and see each other again, because in these difficult political times, people don't see each other anymore. They see, you know, they see how you voted or what you know. So what we wanted to do is get past that and create an event where we just remember we all live and work here and that we depend on each other to get by.
Greening says the work in trying to rebuild communities is crucial for generations to come.
Okay, Sam, wait for me. Oh. Sugar cane. The crowd is building up now.